Hello, friends. I'm Angelica Chéri, and I am here in Valley Village, California, with our playwright, Jay Holtham.
Hi.
Hey, what is it like? I know most of the other playwrights are all in New York, so what's it been like being here in LA, dealing with that difference?
It's a little different than especially what I'm used to, because I've done shows in New York, and I'm usually a lot more sort of involved heavily in the casting. And here it's been it's a little difficult since I'm not there. We had some difficulty with casting. We managed to get a great cast that I'm really, really excited about.
Great.
But I know that I'm going to miss being in rehearsals and being able to make changes and explain jokes and fix jokes that don't work because sometimes they don't, and all of that. So that's one part that I'm sad about. But I'm also excited to see what they come up with. The play is called Favored Nations. It's about two brothers who are settling their father's estate, and the lawyer who's caught between them, and their father was a bit weird. I'll probably talk more about that.
Okay.
And their relationship is complicated, I'd say at best.
Okay.
Nicole Watson's directing my play, and she's great. She's a terrific director that I've worked with before. Was the first person I thought of when they asked me to do this. I was like, I want to work with Nicole again.
Right.
Just because she's great. So that's another reason why I feel very, very confident, because I trust her implicitly, and I'm excited to, again, see what she comes up with and to see how the play develops. I first encountered the Fire This Time Festival largely through my work with New Black Fest, and getting that off the ground and being in connection with Kelly and Kevin and the other people involved with the Fire This Time as another festival that was different from what we were doing with New Black Fest, but that was feeding the same urge of telling different stories and telling stories for audience of color, for people of color, for any audience, and giving artists of color a chance to expand the spectrum of what we could talk about. And that's something I felt very, very comfortable with. And like I said, seems to be a very narrow bandwidth within where stories about people of color happen.
Right.
A certain socioeconomic strata and a certain sort of set of cultural signifiers that are just dug in there. And I want to really explore the other sides of those and explore the other parts of being Black.
Right.
I grew up in a very small, very white suburb near New York City, and that experience is a big part of who I am, and is not separate from me being a Black person.
Right.
Being that sort of sole person of color in the sea of white does not somehow negate that I'm Black, even if I assimilated or whatever. It doesn't change that.
Right.
So I want to tell those stories, and I want to have a place, particularly have that conversation with audiences of color. There's sort of a generation of artists of color who were the only Black person in their town or in their class, and that is a particular experience that I'm obviously interested in, and all of the things that are sort of connected to that.
Exactly. Being the voice of the African American experience, like the reference point, as if it's a homogenous experience.
Exactly.
Right? I can go on for days about this.
Yeah, exactly. And you had that burden, and then there's the complicated relationship with that burden of how much do you assimilate, or do you take the other path and reject all of the mainstream culture and do your own thing, or whether or not it really is authentic to you, or what that is.
Exactly, and then how you live in those two different windows, which goes back again to what you were saying about I don't have to worry about writing a Black piece because I'm Black, it's going to happen. So sort of like you don't have to worry about being Black.
Right.
It's just going to happen.
It's just, if you're Black and you have an experience, it's a Black experience.
It's a Black experience. 3 words to describe your work or your personality, because sometimes the work and the personality are not separate. Sometimes. What would you, with 3 words?
I would say funny, quirky, and real.
Funny, quirky, and real.
Yeah. Okay,
guys, look forward to some funny, quirky realness from Jay Holtham in this year's 4th annual Fire This Time Festival.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.